Hi, I'm Ina, and this is What's in the Bag for the week of October 4th. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest, Rob Lang, our CEO and founder.
Hello, good to be here.
Today, Rob is joining because he's going to share important updates about our greens pack. So Rob, for the past 2 weeks, we've paused deliveries on our greens pack. Can you share a little bit more behind that decision?
Yeah, I can. It's good to be here, Ina, by the way, back on What's in the Bag. So let's explain a few things. We put deliveries on hold really because we were having a couple of issues with the product when it was going into containers. And so as you can see, our farm around us is beautiful and lush and everything's growing really nicely. But what was happening was we had a bit too much humidity in the room, so too much wetness in the air. And also in some of the product that we were growing, the wetness was kind of staying in there. And so when we were packing it into the container was really wet, which means that the product doesn't quite last as long in the fridge. And as you know, at Farm.One, we're all about giving you the freshest product. And normally our product has a really long shelf life, like up to 2 weeks or something. So we weren't seeing that. We wanted to make a change. And so what we did was we installed a new air conditioning unit here. We also installed a dehumidifier as well. So we're trying to suck as much moisture out of the air as we can. The other big change that we're making is to do with the containers. And so if you remember, we used to be using these larger Aravent containers like what the mushrooms come in. And we had to switch to these somewhat temporary containers for the greens pack. And really, these containers are a little bit smaller than the Aravent. We were putting just as much weight of product in there, but it was a smaller container, so we had to kind of cram it in a little bit. That was also causing some problems where the product was getting a little bit broken sometimes, and it was not really helping the wetness issue. So what we're doing from this week onward with these containers is you're actually going to get 4 containers in your delivery. So you'll get baby greens, microgreens, a mixture, and then you'll also get your herbs and flowers as well. And this means you're getting the same quantity of product, but it'll be nice and fresher, and you won't have that wetness issue that we experienced before. We've made a bunch of other tweaks as well on the farm to do with our harvest process, our packing process, and a bunch of other things to do with delivery as well. So we're pretty confident that you're going to get a better experience going forward and really enjoy your greens pack. Did I do a good job?
Yeah, thanks so much, Rob. It sounds like the team has been really hard at work the past 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's kind of it's obviously a big job getting this whole farm up and running, and the team's been doing amazing, but there's always lots of tweaks to do. And so I think as members, what we really appreciate is when we get feedback. We love hearing from folks about, what do you enjoy about the product? What's different week to week? Because we really want to know. And if we know, we can make big changes as we did over the past couple of weeks and make sure we're delivering you awesome, fresh product.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Rob.
Cool. So, Ina, what's in the bag this week?
For our greens pack baby greens, we have a Gourmet Mix Lettuce, early Mizuna, Selway Lettuce, blue Scotch and Siberian kale, and sprinkles of lemon basil, that nice little citrus flavor.
Yeah, my favorite, or one of my favorites. I have many favorites. It's one of them.
This week's microgreens are red streak mustard,
which I'm eating right now. It's really spicy.
Oh boy. Ms. America Mizuna, red kale, and sprinkles of micro broccoli.
Nice. So Ina, what about this mix? What's that all about?
So the mixed box is actually all of the same varieties of the baby greens and the microgreens, just mixed together. So it's great for salad mixes.
Okay, I think I can get my head around that. Ooh. Okay, so hey, this is my favorite box as always. By the way, if you're like a new member and you didn't know, before all of this, moving to Brooklyn, this new farm and everything, we used to sell to chefs. And so every week we would be sending out dozens of boxes like this with beautiful flowers and herbs and things. So the blue box, or the herbs and flowers box, that's my favorite every time. I know what's in it, but I can ask you, what's in it, Ina?
You can just smell all the fragrances as soon as you open up the container. This week we have Thai Basil, Blue Spice Basil.
Oh, it's my favorite. Look at this guy.
Beautiful.
And it smells like kind of like bubble gum. You get like a berries, vanilla. It's unusual for basil. It's kind of sweet. It's almost like perfect for a dessert, really.
Yes, very unique also. We have oxalis leaves and these beautiful viola flowers. One of my favorite recipes with Blue Spice Basil is just muddling up the basil leaves, squeezing a lemon on top, and just adding sparkling water, and it's the most refreshing lemonade.
Premium, yeah.
For this week's shrooms, we have lion's mane mushrooms and royal trumpet mushrooms.
Okay, but listen, members, okay, so we filmed this. We have to film this the week before because we can't do it on the day of your delivery because we would just go crazy. And so what we do is we get this stuff together from the farm, and we also get stuff from Smallhold, who make the mushrooms in Brooklyn. But this week, we couldn't get the mushrooms for next week because they're not available this week. And so we have lion's mane and we have royal trumpet mushrooms. And so in this box, we couldn't get the lion's mane mushrooms this week. So what we did was we got cauliflower, and it kind of looks like the lion's mane mushroom. It looks really good. But this week, that is cauliflower. You're not getting cauliflower, right? They're not getting cauliflower.
You're not getting cauliflower, and you're revealing the secrets of staging.
Yeah, this is all TV magic.
For this week's smoothies, we have Biscay Green, which also has that Blue Spice Basil, carrot cake, and Wow Ram.
Which one do you like the best?
Biscay Green. Biscay Green, absolutely.
Yeah. Biscay Green's probably my favorite.
The Blue Spice Basil is so fragrant, and it really comes out in that smoothie.
So hey, Ina, what's the surprise this week? It looks really cool.
This week's surprise is a little bit of a tongue twister. For all of our members, you'll be receiving White Rose Miso's Benne Miso.
White Rose Miso's Benne Miso.
Say that 5 times fast.
White Rose Miso's Benne Miso. Yeah, it's pretty cool though. Tell me about it.
So the Benne seed is actually a heritage variety of the sesame seed, and they toast the Benne seeds until they get very dark. So they take on a little bit of a toasty char.
Yeah.
So the resulting miso has a really strong nutty flavor, and it's complemented by a little bit of sweetness from the koji.
Yeah, it's super nice. Do you ever use koji in cooking?
Not usually. Not
okay.
often.
I use it, and it's so cool. It gives a umami savoriness to things without like a salt, and so you're getting that umaminess without it being salty or soy saucy or anything like that. It's super cool. Like
Amazing.
So if you're making like I do a vegan cacio e pepe, which is probably sacrilegious to Italians, but what you can do is put a little bit of koji in there, and it will give you partly that sort of cheesy umaminess that you wouldn't get otherwise. I really love koji, and this also has a little bit of farro in it as well. That's cool.
Amazing.
I like it. I'm excited to try this.
Yeah, I'm really excited to make a miso dressing with this miso. I'll probably whisk together some of this miso, sesame oil, peanut oil, maybe a little bit of plant-based yogurt just to make it a little creamy.
Okay.
And ginger, and whisk that all together and use that in the salad mix.
That's good. I'm probably going to use it on my mushrooms. You could use it on cauliflower as well if you wanted to. But yeah, I love it with like a mushroom pasta with the miso in it. Like something a little bit sour, like a lemon juice. Yeah,
Delicious.
It's great. So hey, before we finish up, I just want to remind you as a member, log in to the Farm.One website. If you visit Farm.One, you'll see a login link at the top right. In all of our emails, there'll be a link to the member portal. We call it the member portal, but it doesn't always have the thing at the top that says it, so don't get too confused about that. But go into your member portal and you can do things like adjust your billing, adjust your delivery address. You can skip a week if you're going out of town. You can add subscriptions. You can see what's in the bag. You can see this video right there. So make sure you go in. That's where you can modify most of the stuff to do with your account. And I think what we're going to try to do each week with what's in the bag is we'll try to answer your questions and things and try to be as helpful as possible so you can enjoy your Farm.One subscription. That's it from me.
Be sure to also check out the meal plan for more ideas and inspiration on how to use all of these ingredients. Maybe you'll find a cauliflower recipe. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week.
Thanks, Ina.
Thanks, Rob.
Good to be back.